welcome back to episode 419 of the Purple Rain podcast. Special one because this is the Scott Mitchell episode of the Purple Rain podcast. The only Raven to wear 19 because of Johnny Unitas. Thank you for spending your Monday evening here with us on the Purple Rain podcast. You can follow us here on Instagram at the Purple Rain podcast. This guy right here on Instagram or on X at SunDef. Me, Instagram simply as10.prod, X simply as10. And yeah, if you have not already, subscribe, like the video, and sound off in the chat. Let us know if you are here. And if you are not in the live chat, part of the replay gang, let us know down below. But yes, welcome back. Still have some Ravens news to talk about. Not a whole lot, but we're here. We'll talk about it. But how are we doing? How was the weekend? How are we feeling? How was it?
Man, I'm doing good. As I normally come in and say, I cannot complain because I can't. You know, we still have 4 weeks until football, so I can kind of complain about that, Alex, because there's no, at least not American football. There's some really, really good soccer going on right now. Actually, right now as we speak, the World Cup is going on. Me and Alex were just watching it before we went live here. Germany is taking on Paraguay. It's a pretty good game too, pretty close game, and it's in extra time right now. So, you know, I can't complain again, man. There's a lot of good sports to see, especially, like I said, with soccer. So, no, I'm fine. I'm feeling good. And listen, like you mentioned, there's not too much Raven news to get into, but like there are some things that need to be addressed. There's some things that definitely need to be addressed. And we will do that here on this episode 419 of the show. But like my guy Alex said, before we do, please be sure to leave a like on this video. That's right. A thumbs up goes a very long way. And also subscribe, like my guy Alex said as well, if you're new. Okay. All right. Let me give a shout out to who's here in the live chat, though. Live chat, you already know. Tila says 4 long weeks. I know it just drags. It just drags. I know. I get it. I understand. But thank you so much for coming through, Tila. Moderator in the chat. I see KBZ in the chat. What's going on, KBZ? Khalil Bowling. What up? What up? What up? We have Ashley, another moderator and member in the chat. What's going on, Ashley? God's favorite is in the chat as well. What up? What up? What up? Black Daniels, another moderator in the chat. What up, Black Daniels? Appreciate you for coming through. Who else we got in here? Who else we got in here? We got Void, another member in the chat as well. He's talking about the topic already. Because you guys see the title of the video is, did the Ravens actually win this offseason? More specifically, did they have the best offseason in the AFC North? There's a poll right now in the chat, in the live chat. I want to take a look at the results of that here in a few minutes once we start talking about it. But Void says here, no, we did not win the offseason. I guess we can just kind of hop right into it, Alex. Void says, no, we did not win the offseason. Our offensive line is suspect. Wide receiver group suspect. We are banking on a young staff and Falele Light. Whoa. Void, this is flagrant. This is absolutely flagrant right here to start us off here on this episode 419 of the show. It says, Falele Light 7, referring to Rashad Bateman, is still on this roster. On paper, we have gone nowhere offensively. Alex, I mean, because here we go. We're going to start this. Yeah. You know, did the Ravens win the offseason? But before we dive deep into that question, address Void and what he's saying here, specifically that last point. He says, on paper, we have gone nowhere offensively. Do you agree with that?
I feel like we have upgraded the O-line, especially when you get one of the best, if not the best, O-line coach in the league. And obviously, you know, compared to last year, that's easy to say. I think the center is still the biggest question mark. And for that, I understand why we may be feeling a little bit worried about it. Receiver-wise, you take away DeAndre Hopkins and you add 2 unproven guys. I feel like the best part is, we haven't, on paper, gone anywhere, but we're just banking on potential, and that may not be the safest thing to do, especially when you're in year 8, year 9 of Lamar Jackson. That's probably not the best thing you want to do, but I feel like it will be better, and it's to me an upgrade with Declan Doyle. I think Todd Monken, he came to the end of the road in his tenure in Baltimore. I think he did great things here. Let me not take it away, but I think there's an expiration date. I think the expiration date was definitely last year, and I'm happy for him. He got that job in Cleveland, so I think you upgrade there with Declan Doyle. I think you upgrade the culture. I think you upgrade with the coach as well. I hate to use like that vibes word, but I feel like the players want to play now. You know, last year I think it was just waiting to get along till the end of the season. Yeah. This year it feels like they're excited, and that sense kind of went out the window. I want to say week 4, when you get blown out in Kansas City, when your quarterback goes down, when your safety gets hurt, when your cornerback gets hurt, when your linebacker gets hurt. It's like, are we having fun? When you start off 1-5, are we really having fun? So right. I think on paper, it's not gotten better offensively. But I'm looking at the potential wise. I think with Ledford, to me, he's like, I can't put into words how much he's going to improve the line. I really can. I think we have faith in guys like Rosengarten. I think he'll be used correctly. A guy like Simpson is an upgrade of who we had, and Falele gone is a huge upgrade. I hate to say it, but him gone is just a net positive right there. So I can agree. Not better on paper, but I think potential wise, we're looking good.
Definitely a lot of upside, I would say, with this new roster and this new coaching staff. So I definitely agree with you there. I can't rock with you on this one, Void. I can't rock with you on this one. I do think that we have gone somewhere with this offense, and I do expect them to play very, very well. You mentioned the vibes, though, just really quickly. It does feel like the Ravens and the players and just like the energy is different. It feels like they're playing with more of a purpose, right? It did feel like with John Harbaugh last year was like the last couple painful years of a marriage, right? Where it's like on the outs. You guys aren't really talking with each other. You don't even sleep in the same bed. It was getting bad. It was getting bad. Like the relationship had just gone more than stale, quite frankly. And now with again Jesse Minter and Declan Doyle, I'm sure we'll get even more of a sense of this when training camp starts. But it does feel like they are moving with more of a purpose now. And I love to see that. I love to see that. So Void, I love you, man, but I cannot agree with your take here. And then calling Rashad Bateman Falele Light is absolutely diabolical. And I respectfully ask of you, Void, to never do that again. Okay? Because that's just disrespectful. Just disrespectful. Don saying in here, you can't trust Bateman at receiver. I mean, sure, Don.
I feel like he's like the new Civil War, like Raven. I think there's Ravens that either you love him or you hate him. And I think Patrick Queen's on that list. I think when he was here, there was no like in between. Yeah. Bateman's definitely on that list. I like Hollywood was on that list. Yeah. This is our new Civil War Raven. Got to pick a side.
Got to pick a side, and y'all know what side I'm on. And the side that you guys are on, I'm gonna need y'all to stay on that side when the season comes. Okay, I was watching Lunch Break Hot Take. Shout out to them. This morning on their morning show, they were talking down on my boy Bateman. Talking down on him, Alex.
On the list? Like on the list level type talking down?
On the list level. On the list level type talking down. Shout out to them, but it was mainly Hendo. It was mainly Hendo from the Rogue Pod. Shout out to the Rogue Pod, Rogue Nation. But he was the main one, just lighting up my guy Bateman. And I didn't appreciate it, but he made some decent points. So, but it's whatever though. He's going in the book. He's in the book. Jose wants to be in the book. I can tell low key, but like he kind of like teeters the line a little bit. So next time I talk to Jose, I'm gonna have to get some real clarity on whether or not he needs to go in the book. I got to just ask him straight up. Listen, do you want to be in the book? Yes or no? I just need to know. Just kidding. I mean, you guys all know some fun. Anywho, let's go ahead and get into this Ravens offseason. Did they win the Ravens like offseason? Did they win the AFC North? Excuse me. I was reading something in the chat here, kind of messed my brain up. But I want to talk about some of the biggest acquisitions. I want to talk about some of the biggest departures, what these AFC North teams did in the draft. And I want to go through each team in the AFC North and give them a grade on their offseason. So, Alex, let's start with the Ravens. I'm just going to list out the biggest additions and departures for the Ravens. We're going to go through them all, and we're going to give a grade, right? I'm going to ask you a very interesting question, too, to go with it. So, here we go. So, the Ravens' biggest acquisitions this offseason. Number one, of course, edge Trey Hendrickson. That's huge, especially being in division. That's a huge swing. The Bengals losing him, and also not only losing him, but losing him to a division rival that they have to play twice. That is huge. Also, of course, guard John Simpson, D lineman Calais Campbell, safety Jalen Hawkins, tight end Durham Smythe, center Danny Penner, quarterback Tyler Huntley re-signed with the team, and Cheeto Awuzie, the cornerback, also re-signed with the team. Biggest departures for the Ravens this offseason. Tyler Linderbaum was the biggest one. He left to go to the Raiders. He got paid. He deserved it. We just couldn't afford it here. Isaiah Likely went to the Giants. Patrick Ricard went to the Giants. Tylan Wallace went to the Browns. Charlie Kohler to the Chargers. Keaton Mitchell also to the Chargers. David Ojabo is a Dolphin now, which I wasn't even tracking that, to be honest with you. But shout out to him, I guess. Draymond Jones is now a Patriot. And Jordan Stout also followed Harbaugh to the New York Giants. So moving on from that, those were their biggest acquisitions and departures. But in the draft, I thought they did some work. Okay, so first 4 picks, you got Venga Ioane, of course, the guard. Second pick, you got Edge Zion Young. Third pick, you got Jacoby Lane, wide receiver out of USC. And then the fourth round pick, Elijah Surratt, Indiana. There's a bunch of other guys as well, but those are the top 4. Those are kind of like the main ones where you expect them to have some sort of impact on this team sooner rather than later. Maybe some of those tight ends too, but just for the top 4. And of course, the biggest thing was they replaced John Harbaugh with Jesse Minter. Basically rehashed out the entire coaching staff. Jesse Minter's the new head coach. Declan Doyle's the new OC. Anthony Weaver is the new DC. So really what I want to ask you, Alex, here is, number one, what is your grade for this Ravens offseason? And number two, do you think that they won the offseason, or did they really just create the most pressure for themselves? Because it really felt like they're trying to build a roster that can win right now. You know what I mean? That's why you go out and you get Trey Hendrickson and Max Crosby, or try to at least, So is it really like, did they win this offseason? Do you think they just created more pressure, and what's the grade?
So will the coaching count? Will the acquisition of coaches count in my grade? Can it count in my grade?
Yeah.
Okay, because the Steelers as well, we have them. I'm gonna go with a B plus. I think defensively, when you are tied for 28th in sacks last year, bottom 5, and you get Trey Hendrickson, you get Zion Young, you address that spot. You do.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go back to this. I'm gonna sound like a broken record. It's just the O line that's really scaring me. Receiver wise, I mean, that can still be addressed per se, because I don't think we're gonna go out there. I never thought we were gonna get George Pickens. Obviously, would have liked it, but it probably wasn't realistic. And I'm sorry if I keep looking over. I have the game on my right hand side. The most, I guess, obvious move would be maybe bringing back D-Hop or getting a vet like a Keenan Allen. But I feel like drafting the guys that we drafted, and once again, that's like a broken record, they give me hope. Knowing what Declan Doyle with the Bears did with their young receivers, it gives me hope. I feel like if we address most points needed, I think getting a guy like Jalen Hawkins to allow Kyle Hamilton to play all around the defense, Anthony Weaver, who has coached a defense before, not his first go around like Zach Orr. Good luck to him, no disrespect. That to me is already a net positive. I think that Jesse Minter, bringing him in, young energy, fresh blood, already a positive. What's holding me back, like I said, is just that center role. And I think maybe the John Simpson, obviously you want to have a vet in there.
Yeah.
But when you compare this line, I guess, to the years when we, let's say, had a chance to win it all. Obviously, 19, how even 24. Those lines are pretty damn good. I know Falele was starting in 24, but let's be real. He was cooking that final, 5-6 stretch game. I don't know what happened. I don't know if Marciano possessed him, but he was playing pretty damn good. 19, obviously, Marciano on that line, the literal general. I think about, if he just would have stayed maybe one more year, what could happen? That's what's holding me back from an A. But I think when you look at it, I think, yes, we are a better team than last year with what we lost. Linderbaum going, let's be real. I think if we would have signed him in 3 years, $85 million, I probably would have given us less than a B plus, because there's no way we could pay him that. And when you look at the film last year, I know he didn't have the best guys next to him. He didn't play the best either. He was getting blown up.
Yeah.
So I think a B plus is fair to say. I think our draft, like you brought up those picks, Venga is going to be a day one starter. Slam dunk pick. You know what he's going to bring you. Zion Young, when he's a first round grade, hell yeah. And then when you get the receivers that we got, I'm liking that. So B plus, I think the only way you get me to an A is if you sign a veteran center and maybe a Kevin Zeitler. Maybe I'm greedy and would like to see Zeitler, but that's not going to happen with Johnson.
Zeitler's still a free agent, isn't he?
He's still a free agent.
Wow.
He was one of the higher graded linemen last year as well.
He was one of the best.
I still don't get why you bringing Simpson back over him, but I'm not EDC. I don't know. Maybe Simpson fits our scheme more. I don't know. But as of right now, I'm going to go with a B+. I think that is fair to say. Like I said, the only way I could get to an A is if that center was signed.
And that makes a lot of sense, Alex. That makes a lot of sense, because I tend to feel the same way when it comes to my assessment of this offseason for the Ravens, because time and time again, it feels like the Ravens always have, it's like their priorities aren't all the way in order. You know what I mean? Like, because I've always been a proponent of saying of championing the idea of building from the inside out. So your offensive line is the most important thing on your offense. Like full stop. Full stop. It's the most important thing on your offense. You talk about which players on the field have the most pound for pound impact on the game. It's going to be the linemen. It's not the guys on the outside. It's not the receivers. Think about the position of wide receiver. And trust me, I'm going somewhere with this. It is so heavily dependent on so many things going right. Number one, it's got to be a pass play. Number two, the snap operation has to be great from the center of the quarterback. Number three, the offensive line has to block for the quarterback. Number four, the quarterback has to be looking your way in his progressions, right? And number five, he has to make a good throw. After all those five things have happened first, then you get an opportunity to impact the game as a wide receiver. Whereas with your offensive linemen, and again, this is where it just makes so much logical sense to me. Your offensive linemen, literally every single play, they're impacting the game. You know, a good offensive line is damn near more important than a good quarterback. It just really is, especially when you're splitting hairs at the pro level. All these guys, as you know, quarterbacks specifically, all these guys are professionals. You give them good enough protection. Of course, talent comes into it as well. That's why you separate the stars from like the superstars and things like that. Remember our QB tier list that we did last episode, where there was a bunch of guys in that franchise quarterback list that B, but then that upper tier, that S tier, were the guys who just have the excess of talent. But basically, my point is, let me put it like this, Alex. The best game managers are not quarterbacks. They're offensive linemen. You're talking about being able to manage a game and actually execute your game plan. It all starts with the guys up front. So the fact that the Ravens neglected to get a center, knowing full well what just happened, all of 3, maybe 4 years ago, Alex, before Tyler Linderbaum, when center was a huge pain point on this team. When it came to the snaps, when it came to the pass blocking, the run blocking, everything was inconsistent. It was just patchwork. It made the entire line look like a patchwork job at times, you know? So, I mean, like I said, I'm with you. I think that I would give the offseason grade for the Ravens a B minus, only because, listen, it wouldn't have taken much to satisfy me, you know, in getting a center. Like if you would have drafted a guy in maybe 5th, 6th round, I'd have been happy with that. Okay, maybe we can develop this dude into our next future center. But instead, you just said, no, we're going to bring in 2 vets who there's a reason why they're getting bounced around the league, Danny Penner and Javon Gwynn. We're going to bring those guys and see what they got. And it's like, okay, if it's not enough, you're going to hear from us fans. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. So I think I would give it like a B minus. You know, Trey Hendrickson definitely does move me. But like you mentioned, and there's a lot of things that were great about this offseason for the Ravens, but I give it a B minus because Trey Hendrickson moves me, but not closing the deal with Max Crosby. I also got a dock points for that. And then, like you mentioned, you didn't get a center. So I give it a B minus, but we got to go through the rest of the teams to see who really won this offseason, right? But that's where I'm at.
You know, I'm going to dock it to a B because I feel like that's just too big. And you brought up the line, and we've seen. Look at this past couple of Super Bowls. What's happened when your line's not good? I mean, how even when the Niners lost to the Chiefs, Brock Purdy, I think, had Brandon Ayuk or Jawan Jennings wide open in the end zone, but he had Chris Jones in his face, and that's the Super Bowl right there. I think they would have went by like 10 points possibly. I don't want to call it a game, but it's hard to come back from that, especially the way the Niners defense was playing. But yeah, I'm gonna dock it to a B. And you bring up the Crosby thing. Maybe it's because I have all my purple glasses. Like hearing the stuff about his knee come out. I'm kind of grateful it fell through because we have 2 first-round picks back. Like we have Trey Hendrickson in his 17 sacks, not too long ago. Would have been nice to have him for the run game wise, but getting Zion Young is nice. But man, losing 2 first-round picks would have been hard to deal with, especially the way we got Venga. Like think about that. Are you happy it kind of fell through now because the fact you have Trey Hendrickson and Venga and your first-round pick next year, or would you rather have Max Crosby, let's say for like 2 to 3 years max? No pun intended.
And no Venga. And
right,
I mean, then I think they would have probably had to kick the tires on Kevin Zeitler at that point, huh? You know what I mean? Like, and I would have been okay with that. You know, if you'd have put Kevin Zeitler and John Simpson, I'd be like, all right, we got some vets here. It's not the future or anything like that, but like, I'd have been like, okay, cool. But Alex, I do think that in hindsight, it was the better move to not go ahead with the Max Crosby trade and get those 2 first-round picks back and still get a dominant pass rusher, one of the best in the league, and Trey Hendrickson. And like you mentioned, again, get to keep those 2 firsts. So, yeah, it sucked, and especially in the moment, because I remember, Alex, like, coming in here and reacting to it live, man, we were just thinking to ourselves, like, man, we finally did it. We finally, like, pulled the trigger and went out and made a big blockbuster move, just took a big swing, and yeah, it just fell through. It just ended up falling through. But in hindsight, man, most of it worked out. It worked out 90%. I saw Tila put in the chat. She said a drafted center has no NFL experience. So, yeah, I guess she's saying that she would prefer going into the season with either Javon Gwynn or Danny Pinter. Or maybe she would have preferred going out and signing a more high profile name, which is what I thought that they were going to do. I thought that they were going to do that like after the draft, after they didn't draft a center at all. I thought it was just a no brainer that like in the coming weeks after that, they would have gotten insert whatever the highest touted free agent center is, right? They would have just gone out and gotten him and just kind of did their due diligence that way. But they're rocking with the young guys. So again, I got to give them a B minus. But let's move on here, Alex. Let's go on to the next AFC North team. We have the Cincinnati Bengals. Their biggest additions over this offseason: defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence, edge Boye Mafe, defensive tackle Jonathan Allen, safety Brian Cook, safety Kyle Duggar, cornerback Jasir Taylor, and then quarterback Josh Johnson. Their biggest re-signings were Joe Flacco, Orlando Brown Jr., Dalton Reisner, and Jalen Davis. And their biggest departures, Trey Hendrickson, of course, coming to the Ravens, Cam Taylor-Britt to the Colts, Geno Stone to the Bills, Joseph Osai to the Jets, Jake Browning to the Bucks, Noah Fant to the Saints, and Cordell Volson to the Titans. And then really quick here, their draft picks. Their first 4 draft picks are as follows. They got edge Cassius Howell with their first pick. They also got cornerback Takario Davis out of Washington. I've heard good things about. They got a center in their draft. They got Connor Lew out of Auburn, who was highly touted in this draft as a center prospect. And then they also got wide receiver Colby Young out of Georgia. So big thing for them, I guess, is just like they got better on defense, at least on paper, right? And again, like we've been talking about, like their biggest problem was never offense. It was never offense, right? It was just the defense would just give up one more point than what the offense scored, and they would lose a lot of close games. But what do you rate what did you grade the Cincinnati Bengals off season?
Yeah, so if I'm Ravens, so a B for me. For the Bengals, like it's a B plus or A minus. And I think
let me see, we got a super chat donation.
Oh, we did.
Young Brew, appreciate you, brother. Says it was the best move. No one is even talking about Crosby in that slipping transmission. Raiders tried to sell us a lemon. I mean, they almost tried to pull. They almost pulled a fast one on us. And look, I was right there championing. It's on record me saying that I loved that trade at the time. But as the weeks have gone on, and like my guy Alex said, the different news about his knee have come out. And here we are sitting with Trey Hendrickson, Vinga Ioane, and our 2027 first. Hey man, I'm cool. So it was a great move. It was a great move in hindsight, Young Brew. And thank you so much, brother, for your super chat donation.
Young Brew, they try to make us the bad guys. They made us the bad guys. Once we were able to, get him in person, get the X-rays, look at it, have another doctor look at it, we saw something. But yeah, it made us the bad guys. Still are the bad guys. They're still parading it, but like you said, in hindsight, I think it's the right thing. So the Bengals, like you said, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's never been about the offense. I just pulled up their depth chart. Let's just talk about this real quick. Joe Burrow, Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Andre Yoshivas, Mike Gesicki. That's pretty damn good for your core players of your offense. The 3 receivers there can go with any of the best in the league. I mean, Yoshivas is a damn good 3. And then, like you brought up the defense, all they really had to do was just fix the defense. And while he was great for the Baltimore Ravens in that 2023, Geno Stone is an addition by subtraction for the Cincinnati Bengals. He was not good there whatsoever. He had a couple of picks, but he was pretty bad in coverage, gave up a lot of deep balls, wasn't the same player he was here. Dexter Lawrence, I mean, that's a great trade for them. I know you give it your first round pick, but they've been missing him. And losing, Trey Hendrickson for them is big, but when you get a guy like Cassius Howell in the second, who I liked out of A&M, and then Mafe from the Seahawks. I know he had, I think, 4.5 sacks last year, but it's adding, and then Jonathan Allen as well. Like, that front line is beefed up, and it feels like they're building a defense to try to stop Derrick Henry, much like the Steelers did after we beat them in the playoffs in 24. They drafted the buddy from Oregon, re-signing Cam Hayward. Like, they're trying to build a defense to stop the Ravens. And that could be me with my purple glasses on. That's fine. But that's what it feels like. You beef up the D line to stop the king.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think you're spot on. Yeah.
But let me look at their line. Orlando Brown, Dylan Fairchild, Ted Karras, Dalton Reisner, and Marius Mims. The tackles still kind of scare me because we've seen Burrow was getting hit last week. I think we had 3 or 4 sacks on Burrow in the game in Cincinnati, which that's a fireable offense in itself against our defense last year.
It's probably that's probably our best game defensively last year. Well, that was the shutout. That was the shutout, I think.
Yeah, I think Tavius had one. Draymond had one. I'm gonna go with a B plus. I think one more lineman would have been taking me to the A, but I think they did what they had to do to get themselves back in the playoffs. That's a good offseason for them. I think they did.
You know what? Like, I want to agree with you, Alex. I mean, I'm kind of right there with you. I think that they had a slightly better. Well, no, I can't say that. Alex, because again, like I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, that swing of losing Trey Hendrickson to a divisional rival is just huge for me. Like you shouldn't let that happen. Okay, like you just shouldn't. That should not happen. I would probably give them, for that reason, a C plus. I'm gonna give them a C plus. Yeah, I feel like they got some pieces on the defense, but they're not pieces that necessarily I'm going into the week, Bengals week, scared of Boye Mafe, scared of Jonathan Allen, especially if our offensive line performs at the level, under the tutelage of Dwayne Leffert that we expected to. So I mean, the Bengals are going to be damn good, especially offensively. They're going to be throwing the ball all over the place. I think Chase Brown he's a good running back, probably not one of my more favorite ones, but he's a good running back. But Jamar Chase and T Higgins, and here's where I'm going to be very interested to see what this chess match between the Bengals offense and the Ravens defense looks like. That's probably one of the more interesting matchups that I feel like not a lot of people are talking about as of yet, because we're still a couple weeks out from the season, right? As Havertz is about to take this PK, huh? Or this free kick. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, this PK. This means a little bit more to me. All right. A little bit more to me.
I know, because this is your guy. It's your guy, Kai Havertz. Little break in the Ravens action. This is actually going to be crazy here. But yeah, no, I think that
Heart rate's going. This is bringing back, like, this is PTSD for me right now.
Oh goodness. Oh yeah, because what happened a little while back. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. While you're reacting to that, no, but like I just think that with Joe Burrow and this offense, it's going to be very, very important for, I think, the Ravens to employ more like cover 2 shell looks and basically keep those guys contained, keep those guys in front of you, because as we know, either one of those guys, they can beat you deep down the field and it'd be over with. Ooh, holy crap.
Oh my.
Yeah, bro. Havertz just missed, unfortunately.
Hey, man.
That's rough.
If this brings up the USA stock, we thrashed this team 4-1. We played them off the park.
Oof. Yikes. I mean, we're gonna get into the World Cup later too.
Yeah.
USA, man. I'm excited. Well, I was pissed off the other night. We'll talk about it. But yeah. Let me see. So Chris M says getting beat deep is definitely an experience. For sure. I mean, we got beat deep a lot by Jamar Chase and T Higgins, in their tenure in Cincinnati. So I'm going to be very interested to see how Jesse Minter plans to defend that electric offense that is the Bengals. But I'll give them a C plus on their offseason, though. I don't think that they had a better offseason than the Ravens, only because, again, they lost Trey Hendrickson, one of the best pass rushers at this, a premium position, by the way, to a divisional rival. But let's move on here, Alex. Next one. We've got the let me see here. Who's next? We're gonna do. We do Browns next.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do Browns next. So, all right. So the Cleveland Browns. Biggest additions for the Browns this offseason. Edge Jared Verse, 2027 first round pick, 2028 second round pick. That was in the Myles Garrett trade. 2029 third round pick as well. They also got offensive tackle Titus Howard, guard Zion Johnson, center/guard Elgton Jenkins, linebacker Quincy Williams, wide receiver Tylan Wallace, former Raven, and tight end Jack Stoll. And then their biggest departures. Who did they lose? Of course, the Browns lost Myles Garrett to the Rams. Joel Bitonio retired. Devin Bush is now a Bear. Jerome Ford, they lost to the Commanders. Wyatt Teller is now a Texan. And Cameron Thomas went to the Falcons. As for their draft, the Browns went pretty offensive heavy in their draft, Alex. So their first 4 picks are as follows. Spencer Fano, offensive tackle. Then they doubled up on wide receiver, much like the Ravens did. But they got wide receiver Casey Concepcion in the first round. And then in the second round, they got wide receiver Denzel Boston. So they got some pretty good young wide receiver talent. It'll be interesting to see what they do there. So honestly, Alex, I mean, yes, losing Myles Garrett is huge. Losing Garrett is catastrophic for, I think, this defense. But getting Jared Verse in return, and then also getting a 2027 first and a 28 second, the Browns defense is still going to be a very formidable defense. Let's not even get that twisted, and their offense is definitely getting upgraded. So I think that when you talk about who really won this offseason, the Browns might be right there for me, because they didn't necessarily build a roster that's going to win this season. When you talk about setting yourself up for the future, like the next 3 seasons and beyond that, the Browns arguably made the best choices here. They got younger on offense, right? I mean, they got a bunch of picks and things like that from trading away Myles Garrett. And they also got Jared Verse, which is basically like a first round pick in itself. Listen, Alex, the Browns, let's just be real. I mean, Quinshawn Judkins is a good running back. I think him coming into his second year, he's going to be even better. He's going to build upon what he had last year. But let's just be real. Like, the Cleveland Browns are a Shedeur Sanders breakout season away from being actual threats, not only in this division, but I think in this league. Because like I said, Alex, again, the defense is going to be good. We know this defense is going to be good. I think Shorts is still there, isn't he?
Nope.
Oh, he's gone.
He stormed out. Remember,
he
when
never
they gave
came back.
Munkin the job, he never got the interview. He stormed out.
Interesting.
Packed his stuff and said.
But I do still think that their defense, I mean, AFC North defenses besides the Bengals are always pretty stout. So I do think that their defense is still going to be good. And if they have competent enough quarterback play, they could definitely make some noise. I'm going to give their offseason, just because of how well they set themselves up for the future, I'm going to give them an A-. Now, it's about what they do with all these picks in the future, and that you really can't trust with the Browns. But for now, I give them an A-.
I'm going to agree with you there. I feel like they've knocked it out the park with some of their picks recently. As Paraguay score again. Golly.
Just got to get one.
Yeah. And I mean, even last year, they had the defensive rookie of the year in Carson Schwetzinger they drafted. They've been doing good. I think it's just that quarterback position is the biggest question mark, and that's always going to be the Browns' question mark. We thought they had it with Baker. Then he gets traded away. They signed Watson, and then he just, that's. Like you said, I think they are a Shedeur Sanders breakout away from being, to me, probably a 9-win. Oh, shit.
Yikes.
Fucking Nick, bro, they're going to fucking lose to Paraguay? Yo, you're kidding me.
Yikes. That was the guy that we were talking about before stream, too.
MGK? That's fucking MGK right there, bro.
How do you pronounce the dude's name again?
Nick Voltamade.
Okay. You
got to put that V. Voltamade, like that real German.
Voltamade. Oh, yeah, I could hear the German in your voice right there. Dang, man.
But I'm going to agree that if we're looking at teams that got better, I definitely think the Browns did. Losing Jim Schwartz, I think, is probably the biggest loss of their offseason. With Myles Garrett, obviously. Myles Garrett's far and away big, but before Myles Garrett, it's definitely Jim Schwartz. And I think for the Browns, it sucks to trade him away. He's generational. But where were you going with him? You gave him 2 playoff appearances, 1 playoff win. I just don't think. I think it was the best move for both parties, and they get to be, they get the picks in the future. If they get Verse back. He missed it. Wow.
So you're saying there's still a chance? There's still a chance. Oh man! Shout out to everybody watching live right now. Shout out to the replay gang as well. The replay gang is probably like, wait, what's going on? They're talking soccer in the middle of talking Ravens. Yeah, man, this World Cup game is getting spicy. Not gonna lie to y'all. It's almost over though. Yeah. And we're still getting through this. So the Browns, I give an A-. I think that honestly, they might have won the offseason in the AFC North. And again, I'm not just talking about in terms of who is set up to win the division and win the championship this year, but I think that, again, all things considered, they're setting themselves up very nicely. It's not just about, planning for the now, but also planning for the future. And the Browns, again, however we feel about them based off of their past decisions and things like that, aside, I think that they've just done a really good job, especially going out and manning up. And like you mentioned, it was mutually beneficial for both teams, trading away Myles Garrett, getting all that draft capital back, and then also getting the caliber of player of a Jared Verse. I mean, he's gonna be a nuisance in this division for the next however many years, right, that he's here. So no, man, like we mentioned before, they are just a quarterback away from actually setting themselves up for success next season. So I'd give them an A-. I think that they won the offseason. I do.
I can agree with you. I definitely can. And that leaves us now to the Steelers, our old Pittsburgh Steelers. But here comes. So they gotta
get this.
If Germany saves this, it goes on. But if Paraguay makes it, they win. And I'm scared to see this.
Oh my God.
Manuel Neuer.
Oh.
Fucking Neuer.
He saved it. Paraguay fans are stunned. They're stunned. Man. And I promise you we're getting to the Steelers, guys. Oh my gosh. Mike in the chat says, OMG, I see the wows in the chat is going crazy. Wow. Holy crap.
He just turned the clocks back.
Holy crap.
16, 17, 18. When he was the best goalkeeper in the world. Oh, you have defenders taking PKs now. You don't want this. You don't want defenders taking PKs.
Oh.
You don't want defenders taking
PKs.
You don't want defenders taking PKs.
Oh.
You don't want them.
That was
I've been watching this
ugly.
Much like the Arsenal defender Gabriel. Very similar.
That was ugly. Ooh.
Brother,
Oh
Brother,
Mike says, look away, Alex. Man. Dang, man. Absolute cinema.
What a horror.
Absolute cinema.
I'll tell you what, man. This shit is hard to do. I took one in a rec league game. I felt the pressure. I couldn't imagine doing this. And Germany are knocked out.
It was just sudden death after that?
Yep.
Oh, shoot. I did not know that. Wow.
That is a huge upset.
So they didn't have any other attackers that could have taken that shot?
Nope. Ran out everybody.
Wow.
I don't want... When we get the World Cup, that's...
I mean... This is why Kai Havertz, he had to make that first shot, man. He didn't set the tone. Man. It's rough.
USA beat them 4-1. We'll talk about it.
Ah, man. We'll talk about it. All right, we got one more team to grade here, their offseason in the AFC North, Alex, and that is going to be our friendly neighborhood Steelers. Well, not so friendly. Pittsburgh Steelers offseason, their biggest additions. Of course, Aaron Rodgers decided to come back and play a season with Mike McCarthy, his final season with his old head coach Mike McCarthy. They also added Michael Pittman Jr. That's a really good addition. Running back Rico Dowdle, cornerback Jamel Dean, defensive lineman Sebastian Joseph Day, safety Jaquan Brisker, tight end Robert Tunyon. And then also their biggest extensions, you mentioned Nick Herbig. He was a big one. Darnell Washington also got extended, which was kind of a surprise to me. I thought that they would have maybe, I don't know if he played his contract out, Darnell Washington. I thought that they would have maybe let him go through his whole contract, because I haven't really seen the biggest impact from that dude yet. I mean, he's a huge individual, don't get me wrong. But I haven't seen a whole lot from him. Maybe I'm missing something. Cameron Hayward also, like you mentioned, got extended. He's back with the Steelers now. Biggest departures for the Steelers: Isaac Suamalo left in free agency. Chuck Clark went to the Lions. Miles Killebrew went to the Buccaneers. They lost Scotty Miller to the Bears, and they lost James Pierre to the Vikings. As for their draft, the Steelers went pretty offensive heavy in the first couple of picks. So right tackle Max Ahanacore from Arizona State, who they don't even know if he's going to start, which is crazy to me. You spent first round pick on a guy who you don't know if he's going to start. Wild. Their second pick was Jeremy Bernard, the wide receiver out of Alabama. That's a good pickup. Drew Aller, the quarterback from Penn State. So they're taking a little flyer, third round flyer on Drew Aller here. It's going to be interesting to see if he actually ends up getting any play time this season, if Rodgers can't go at any point. They also picked up Dalen Everett from Georgia, the cornerback, and then Jennings Dunker, the guard from Iowa. And of course, the coaching changes. Mike McCarthy replaces Mike Tomlin. Their new offensive coordinator, Brian Angelesio, I think that's how you pronounce his name, and Patrick Graham leading that defense. So with the Steelers, like, did they actually get more dangerous, Alex, or did they just get older? It feels like they just got a little bit older to me.
Yeah.
I would give their offseason maybe like a C minus.
I'm right there with you. The
D+,
defense,
actually.
I like the moves. I like the moves on defense. TJ Watt is a year older. Cam Hayward is a year older. Those are your leaders of the defense. You have still question marks, I think, on the outside. I know Jamel Dean, I like that pickup, but Jaquan Brisker, I like that. But offensively, what are we talking about here? I mean, you can get Michael Pittman, but who's your quarterback? Are we really running it back with Aaron Rodgers? And I think, to me, I can't give him better than a B or B minus. They can't be in a B or A range because they still have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. For me, it's a C minus right there. C, maybe a solid C. I really like their defensive pieces, but that defense is not going to carry you in 2026. If your offense maybe had a younger guy who can maybe at least possibly give you 20 to 24 a game, you can maybe say, hey, defense, can you win us a game if we give you 21? And possibly could, but this team's going to have a couple of games where they don't put up 17 or it's 17 or less. So I can't give them better than C minus. I just do not fear this team. And Mike McCarthy as well. I'm adding coaches into this. What are we doing? Is Mike McCarthy the guy that's really going to maybe win you that 7th Super Bowl I've been hearing about? No.
You know what the Steelers are to me, as I'm sitting here listening to you talk about them? Like, to me, the Steelers are like a very poor man's LA Rams. You know what I mean? You have an aging veteran quarterback who I think anybody would say that Matthew Stafford in 2026, he's better than Aaron Rodgers, right? You've got two big name wide receivers in DK Metcalf and now Michael Pittman Jr., where the upgrade to that is Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. You know what I mean? Like, they're just a poor man's Rams. That's really all they are. You've got TJ Watt is your best edge rusher, which TJ Watt is a dog. Don't get me wrong. He had a down year last year right after he got paid. A lot of Steelers fans were mad at him for that. But the Rams have Myles Garrett, so again, they're just like the poor man's Rams to me. And the fact that, again, they have just gotten older, right? They're just getting older. It's like they're building a roster as if like they are in a win now, like Super Bowl win now mode. And it's just like, I feel like the Steelers aren't being honest with themselves, right? Because at the end of the day, bro, you are not getting through that AFC gauntlet, right? If you couldn't do anything with the Texans just packed y'all up, packed them up, sent them home. You say, you know what? Let's just run it back with, we're just going to run it back. Just going to run it back. Forget having, we couldn't get through the Texans and not to mention when we have to face the Bills, Ravens, Patriots, Chiefs, all, those type of teams. But you're losing to the Texans. You're getting blanked by the Texans, and not to, because the Texans are good too. But my point is, Alex, is that this Steelers team, I feel like they have not looked themselves properly in the mirror and really allowed themselves to properly rebuild, right? Ever since the Big Ben days, it's just been like, You know, outside of getting Kenny Pickett and kind of taking a flyer on a Pittsburgh kid and things like that, they really just have not addressed the quarterback situation well enough, not nearly well enough, right? And just kind of holding on to what Aaron Rodgers has left is just not going to get it done. And then you couple that with the fact that, again, their first round draft pick is a guy who they don't know if he's going to be starting week 1. And we know they wanted to get Mekhi Lemon. It got snatched from right up underneath them on draft night. I am still ecstatic about that. Trust me. But I think the Steelers team, man, they've got some, again, some soul searching to do. They got to look themselves in the mirror, and I just feel like they haven't done that yet. So I'm gonna give them a D+ on their off season, because I do like bringing in Michael Pittman Jr. and pairing him with DK Metcalf. I do like that, but everything else outside of it, man, I'm not much of a fan. I'm just not.
Yeah, you're not moved.
I'm
I
not
don't blame
moved.
you.
Yeah.
How can you be? Like you said, poor man's. And yeah, so you're trying to do it, but the Rams will go like 13-4, and the Steelers will go like 8-9.
Yeah.
So
I think that the let me see. Coach says Sutton, Nitro slander and bait as we speak. Add him to the book. Oh, Nitro can go in the book. Yes, no problem. No problem. Nitro over there cutting up, Coach. Let me find out. Nitro going right in the book. Nitro,
Step
the
into his
Wonder
office.
King. Yes,
Step
sir.
into his office.
Oh, there's gonna be a whole lot of people who have to step into my office come season time. I'm calling them all out by name too. Like, do you apologize for your past transgressions against Rashad Bateman? That's gonna be the question. Make sure you guys remember it. Shout out to Coach. What's going on, Coach? Let me see. All right. So I think that all in all, and this may be like a hot take, nobody's really given this take, but we kind of both agree that the Browns had the, like, pound for pound, the best offseason when you consider, giving themselves a chance to compete sooner rather than later, but then also setting themselves up really, really well for the future. And I think that that's the more important thing. The Browns are doing right now what the Steelers refuse to do. The Browns are like, look, we know we're not in a championship window right now. So the best course of action for us is to kind of blow things up, right? Get rid of our best player, leverage that to get, future draft picks and things like that. And maybe even a nice young player like Jared Verse. They did that again, right? And they've got young wide receivers. Denzel Boston and Casey Concepcion are very good receivers. That's why they were drafted in the first 2 rounds in this past year's draft. They're just a quarterback away, man. They're just a quarterback away. And if they were to have a, let's just say, subpar season this year, guess what next year's draft class has in abundance? Quarterbacks. Quarterbacks. They got a bunch of them. So I think that they've really set themselves up well for the future. I think that the Browns, and I don't think it's a hot take for me to say, but I know it is kind of like, because you got the Ravens and all that. But I think the Browns won the AFC North offseason.
Yeah. I think our grades definitely show that. I think they had the best draft out of the teams. I think the Ravens were a close second. I think the Browns more so knocked it out with their later picks. Ours kind of were some throwing stuff at the wall, hoping it stuck. And I think maybe it would have been better if we got a center, maybe another lineman. But yeah, I like what the Browns did. I think their previous draft showed that as well. That they have the scouting, they're doing the right things, they're building from the outside in and the youth movement as well. The only question I think is more so with the coaching. Do you trust Todd Monken as a first-year head coach, and do you trust these new coordinators? Because I know I trusted Jim Schwartz, their defense, and we've seen how much of an impact DCs can have on teams. Look at the Ravens. Look at the Triple Crown team in 23, and then 24 started off pretty poor. I know we lost some. We lost Queen, Smith. Geno Stone, a couple of the guys, but coordinators do matter. But as right now on paper, I definitely agree with the Browns probably winning the AFC North offseason.
Yeah. And what we want to know is what you think about who won this AFC North off season. Make sure you drop that down below in the comment section, because you guys know, again, we read the comments, guys. That's right. We do read the comments. So make sure you comment down below who you think won this AFC North off season. We think it's the Browns. Probably a hot take, but there you go. There you go.
They should, with all the cap they have as well. If we're really going to nitpick, they probably should. But I think the draft is really kind of what did it for me.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, please be sure to leave a like on this video. As we stand right now, we are at 34 likes. Can we go ahead and get that up? If you haven't liked the video, go ahead and leave a little thumbs up on the video. We'd appreciate that. Also, replay gang, if you're still sticking around listening to us here, please be sure to hype this video. We would greatly appreciate that as well. Helps us out a ton here. But Alex, okay, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic here. This is something that you sent me right before we went live here. Malaki Starks shared some interesting off-season plans of his. Let's go ahead and transition ourselves over here so we can take a look. So Ravens safety Malaki Starks plans to work with John Gruden ahead of training camp. And I guess just going through this article here, it says when Ravens safety Malaki Starks reflected on his rookie season in May, he said it was not up to the standard he set for himself. Real quick, what did you think? What did you make of Malaki Starks' rookie season? Did you think that he lived up to expectations, or do you think that he kind of underwhelmed a little bit?
I don't want to be harsh, but definitely underwhelming. I think we maybe expected more pass breakups. I mean, he dropped a pick his first game against Buffalo, and I think that really was
Oh
the tone
yeah.
for his rookie year. That right through his hands. But like I said, clean slate. I think for his first year, I think we can all agree it wasn't what we thought. We did get beat a couple of times down the field. I think there were plays where there was some miscommunication. But going in the second year, I'm giving him some grace. I think with this new defense, him and Jalen Hawkins will be a damn good safety duo. But yeah, I think, like I say, bang average. I mean, nothing really to wow you, but like, yeah, nothing
I
flashy.
agree
But
with Void, yeah.
it wasn't like the worst. It wasn't Matt Elam, you know. So,
Mm.
but you saw flashes, and I think that's what's really good. You know, he's a smart player, and that's why I know he'll be good. That's why I'm not worried about it. But I don't think we're not going in there saying, well, we can't be starting Malaki Starks here too. He looks like a bust already. No, we're not saying that. He showed us enough promise, I think, to be excited for next year, which I am. So like a C plus, B minus, but it wasn't an F. It wasn't a D. It was nowhere near that. So
Yeah, and
he'll be job all right.
you also have to take into consideration, Alex, that like in his rookie season, he was in a Zachary Orr defense.
Right.
So it's like, all things considered, I think that he had a pretty nice rookie campaign. Again, he plays the position where, if your name's not being called all that often, it's probably a good thing. If you're flying under the radar, you're probably doing your job pretty well. Of course, we would like to see him make more plays, and there was like a little stretch in the season where like I think he had picks in back-to-back games. I can't remember.
Yep. Dolphins and Vikings.
Yeah, that's right. And he started to kind of pick things up from there. But hopefully this offseason, he's working with not only the likes of John Gruden, but Jesse Minter and all those guys as well. Mike Mickens, new DBs coach for the Ravens. And we start to see him make more of an impact in terms of like maybe forcing turnovers, being around the ball, that sort of thing. One thing I did notice with Malaki Starks is that like, and this is probably just by way of him being a rookie, he did seem a little bit like undersized. Like sometimes he would come into the box and try to match up with really whoever, on the opposing team's offense. And he would just kind of get just pushed back, just driven back, which you're not really asking a safety to. And maybe that was, again, part of Zach Orr's scheme. Like, why is he anywhere near the line of scrimmage? He needs to be playing the outfield. But I don't know. We'll see. Let me continue reading this article here, though, about him training with John Gruden. Stark's opinion of his work did not change over the last few weeks. The 2025 first round pick told Jeff Zrebiec that he probably would go C plus, B minus on a report card, and he also shared what he plans to do in order to raise that grade for his second season. Stark said he is integrating Pilates into his offseason workouts and has added weight after playing at 202 pounds last year. Stark said he also plans to consult a Super Bowl winning coach. And see, this is what I was just saying, Alex. I mean, it did seem like he was a little bit undersized. So I love the fact that Malaki Starks is putting on weight because he's not going to be able to get pushed around, especially down low so much. Let me see. He says, I'm going to get back with John Gruden. I trained with him before the draft, so I'm going to get back with him and pick his brain a little bit. It's awesome. I trained with him for the draft. He prepped me for the draft, and we've been really cool ever since. Just to learn from a guy like him and have him as a resource, I think it will be huge. The Ravens have a new head coach in Jesse Minter, and Stark said that everybody gets a new start in that situation. A little time with Gruden is part of his plan to make the most of that fresh start. Alex, what do you make of Malaki Starks going and working with John Gruden, really of all people?
Purely talking football here. All right. One of the most intelligent football minds I think I've heard. I will watch his NFL previews.
Oh, yeah, I watch those too sometimes, yeah.
You know how we kind of critique guys like Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith for not knowing about every football
Mm-hmm.
team?
Mm-hmm.
John Gruden knows about every football team.
He
Every
does.
32 teams, he can tell you. He can probably tell you the 40-yard dash of the guy who they picked in the 5th round of 3 years ago. He has one of the most intense football minds. I think he's passionate about the game. I love that. And him working with Starks, I think he would just bring that passion, energy to Starks for him to be the best football player possible. I love it. I mean, like I said, purely football speaking, I
Right.
cannot be mad at this. I think he is, like I said, one of the most best ones out there. Just crazy knowledge that he has, and you hear it when he was a commentator for ESPN. Like the way he just was so detail oriented, much like we hear with Declan Doyle, like John Gruden is just all about it. I feel like he kind of got overlooked because of the energy he brought and kind of the memes about it. But make no mistake, that guy eats, breathes, freaking the gridiron. So I think I don't see any negatives with this, honestly, with Malaki Starks training with John Gruden or working with him, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you mentioned, strictly football stuff. Definitely. I do agree. He does have a great football mind. I'm impressed because, I watch his previews when he's doing Ravens versus whoever, and he's breaking down guys who I would have never expected him to know about, like guys who regular analysts, your guys like Colin Cowherd and your Stephen A. Smiths and all those type of guys, like they don't know who.
I'll start. Alohi Gilman. He broke that trade down of why we got him.
Yeah,
And I remember
I do remember that. Yeah,
that's what really
for
got
sure.
me.
Yeah, but like they're not really aware of like the lower key Ravens, like
Right.
like the Rashad Batemans maybe, or like they're not going to know about an Adam Randall this year. They're not going to know about some of the low key guys on the squad, but John Gruden definitely does. I mean, he's got, again, like you mentioned, great football mind, and hopefully he's taking some good things from John Gruden, some good things, right? Some good football stuff. My guy Coach says in the chat, Jalen Hawkins will have a better year than Starks. It's not a bad take, Coach. It's really not a bad take. I mean, Jalen Hawkins had one of the better seasons last year for safeties just in the NFL in general, right? Played in the Super Bowl. I don't know how we got him, that was kind of like the steal of the offseason for me, but yeah, again, I can't argue with this really.
2-year, $10 million? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I think Starks are the back uncovered. I can see Hawkins making more plays. Kind of what you said. You're not gonna hear Starks' name a lot, and that's a good thing. He won't get top 5 safety shots, but as Ravens, he'll be doing his job, and we know that. So I can definitely see Hawkins having the better year statistically than Starks, kind of holding it down in the back end.
Yep.
I'm all for it.
For sure. I just think that Jalen Hawkins is a better tackler. He's more physical,
He definitely is.
I
Definitely a better
see
tackler
him.
than Alohi Gilman, for sure.
Yeah.
Because Gilman, a little shaky.
All right, Alex, let's go ahead and move
Yes.
right along here. So next I want to talk about this video that came out over the weekend. It was actually about Mike Green, right? Mike Green, he was sumo wrestling, right? He was going one-on-one with a legit sumo wrestler. Let's take a look. He gets down in his stance. Good plant. Ooh. Oh. Mike Green getting the dub. Listen, man. I mean, I'll tell you who couldn't do this.
I was about to say.
Good old Michael Parsons.
I was saying Daniel Falele.
Oh, Daniel Falele?
He's blocking better than him.
Oh. I was talking about that video of Michael Parsons getting stonewalled by a sumo wrestler.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. But no, this is actually really, you can tell, like, this is insane upper body strength, for one, from Mike Green. If you just look at this, like, I wonder if I can slow this down. Can you slow it down on Twitter? Oh, yeah, you can.
Oh, wow.
Put it at half speed.
Plant.
He gives up some ground, but he plants, right? He tries to lift them and then just kind of ragdolls him to the other side. Again, insane upper body strength. Gets leverage and just lifts him off the ground, puts him on the wall, man. Mike Green is a lot stronger than people give him credit for. I just think that in the league, he was going up against guys who, because this sumo wrestler, while I'm sure he's extremely skilled, he's not that wide. Right? He's not that wide. But NFL offensive tackles are huge, they're strong, and they're really, really wide. They're hard to get around. And it just seemed like they would just kind of put their belly on Mike Green and like they would not move. right? He had a hard time moving him. Before you know it, quarterback's got the ball out. So hopefully this year we see Mike Green. He did say he put on some more weight. You can kind of see it here. And hopefully that translates into more power so we can see him really get to his full potential. Because, man, Mike Green, real quick, what do you think if Vegas were going to set the line for his sack number this year? Where would they set it at? I'm thinking like 6.5. Okay, cool. Yeah,
there we go.
There it is.
Same page.
And are you taking the over?
I'm taking the over. I've said like that is my sweet spot. If he can hit 7, 8, I'm not expecting double digits. I don't want to put that on him, but I think having Trey across from him will be big. But not off topic of this. I feel like we've grown past the just the amount of skin we're seeing. Like we can't wear like some dry fit Nike compressions. Like what Mike Green has on. Like we can't throw it on. Like it's skin tight, it's not gonna
I think it's more of like a cultural thing.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't mean to disrespect anybody, but I just have man ass on my screen right now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're right. It is kind of crazy, right? It's kind of wild.
Like imagine if UFC fighters came out, and just like you can just see the outline. It's like I mean you can, but it's at least it's covering a little bit of thighs. Like, yes.
Yeah, man.
Good on Mike Green though. Good on Mike Green. Want to know?
Good on him. My guy Nitro, he's in the building. Nitro, you're now in the book. Welcome to the Bait Hate book. Listen, man, you're going to have to apologize for your transgressions towards my guy Rashad Bateman come season time. But shout out to you for joining the chat here. He says, man, that's the skinniest sumo wrestler I have ever seen. That's also true, too. I thought those guys were a little bigger than him. You can tell this guy is still strong as an ox, right? Because he's going toe-to-toe with Mike Green and those legs, too. But, like, yeah, he does look a little bit undersized. But yeah. Okay. All right. We also have Mr. Loop. Steve Loop is in the chat as well. What's going on, Mr. Loop? Appreciate you for coming through. As always, my brother. All right. Let's move on. Here. Yeah, man ass on the screen is crazy. Let me get this off the screen. Where are we going to go next? All right, let's go here next, Alex. Let's go to this Terrion Arnold situation, huh? This is a crazy situation, Alex. So today, and I actually have the article in here. Let me see if I pull that up real quick. I thought I saved it. Here we go.
Yeah.
Lions releasing Terrion Arnold, right? After cornerback's bond is set at $1 million. Let's go ahead and read through this article here. So in case you don't know what's going on with Terrion Arnold, we're going to learn here together. It says the Detroit Lions have released cornerback Terrion Arnold after he was arrested last week on felony charges of armed robbery and kidnapping. The team announced Monday. Arnold had his bond set at $1 million Monday by Hillsborough County, Florida judge Christopher Sabella, who added the following conditions. Terrion Arnold's not allowed to contact with the 6 co-defendants or the witnesses in this case. He must surrender his passport within 48 hours, and he was ordered to stay in his Tallahassee, Florida residence, except when he would be playing, training, and traveling with the Lions or making court-related appearances or legal appointments. The state asked the judge to require Arnold to wear a GPS tracking device, but his attorneys argued that he would not be able to play football with such a device. Prosecutors had wanted Arnold held without bond, but the judge granted him bond, of course. He is charged for 4 counts each of kidnapping and armed robbery that could bring a life sentence if Arnold is convicted. But prosecutors so far are not there yet in showing a strong case for Arnold's guilt. So just stopping right there really quick. It sounds like Arnold might get off here. He might get off here because apparently he wasn't. I'm going to keep reading through it. Let me just keep reading through it. Arnold, who's 23, has been in custody since Wednesday night when he turned himself in. Authorities accuse him of orchestrating the abduction and beating of 3 men whom prosecutors believe he wrongly suspected of having stolen luxury goods and $100,000 in cash from him. According to prosecutors, the victims were abducted 3 days after cash and luxury items, including Rolex watches and Louis Vuitton bags, were reported stolen from Arnold at an Airbnb rental in the Tampa area. Prosecutors say that 6 of Arnold's associates carried out the crimes by holding, beating, and pistol whipping the victims, and that Arnold wasn't there at the time. None of Arnold's co-defendants had bond set for them. 2 female co-defendants have pleaded guilty and are cooperating with the authorities. Their statements tie Arnold to the crimes, even though he was not at the apartment, according to the prosecutors. The prosecutors do argue that Arnold is as responsible for the crimes as his co-defendants because he told his associates that he thought he knew who had stolen from him and said that he wanted to confront them, setting these events in motion. Okay, so he was basically like Arnold. Terrion Arnold was like the mastermind behind setting up this robbery and this abducting and things like that. He might not have been there, but he definitely orchestrated is what we're getting here.
Correct.
You know, so I think the rest of this is just a lot of more fluff. But
Yep.
what do you think? What are you thinking about this whole Terrion Arnold situation and the Lions just straight up releasing him?
Yeah. So for one, that's probably the worst possible sign. Think about the Ravens last year and kind of what we went through. We stuck by him for how many months?
Mhm.
And then we finally, got to a point where we released him. And as Modi is here with the
Modi
two
is-
piece, I'd be bigger into sumo.
I'm sure they have what
They probably
female
have that.
sumo wrestling. I know they.
There
I
you
know
go.
they gotta have.
They have
that,
to.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
to.
They got to. Look it up. Report
Your
back
favorite
to us,
sport.
Thank you, brother.
But him getting released so quick is not a good sign at all. I think when I first heard about it, when I heard the two women, kind of took the deal, I'm like, yep, yeah, you're not getting off of this one. They kind of held him up to dry, and I think he'll never play another down in the NFL. I really do, and
Oh my gosh.
I don't want to
Alex.
jump that quick, but when you hear it all, it's like he orchestrated not only kidnapping, pistol whipping,
Bro.
like holding people hostage to a point. Like that's some mob boss stuff.
This is what I'm saying, Alex. Like this is what like
this
yo,
is
yo,
1930s.
yo, big dog, Terrion Arnold, bro. You are in the National Football League, my guy. You can't just be setting up hits like you're John Gotti or something. You're not, right? You are a and here's the sad thing. You said he might have played his last down in the NFL. He didn't even make it to his second contract. Just dumb. Just dumb. I don't get it. Like, I've got zero sympathy. Okay, zero sympathy for Terrion Arnold here. It makes no sense to me why you would put your future at risk. I don't know if he's got like a family, like a wife and kids or a girlfriend, whatever. And that'd be interesting to know. But like, why would you again throw away your entire career off of some Louis Vuitton bags and some Rolexes and $100,000 that you thought was stolen from you? Here's the thing, bro. Call the cops, brother. Call the cops. Do something that's not going to put your career that only 0.5% of people in this world, probably even less, get to enjoy. Okay, like you are a professional athlete. I don't know what doesn't click for these guys. I just don't know. Chat got on me last weekend, the Friday night episode when we did our happy hour stream, because I was kind of shooting some bail a little bit to Brendan Sorsby in that situation. Where, he was also wrong in what he did. I just felt like the NFL kind of throwing the book at him was a little bit hypocritical because of how much they promote gambling and stuff like that. That was my angle with that. And we can maybe touch on that. You can definitely touch on
NBA
that
as
too.
well. That just came out today. Was it Beasley? Was that who it was?
Wait, I thought that was old. Beasley?
Well, I think it came out like it got pushed up. Like it's kind of background because I think possible charge. I think it went federal now. I want to say. I just saw a tweet about it, and I saw people pulled up the clips of like, I don't know who it was. I rarely watch the NBA, but like it was 4 seconds left, and he's hauling ass to get a rebound, and they kind of like pulled out receipts of group chats like, oh my god, he just made us thousands of dollars because his line was at 9.5, and that rebound with like no time left hit the over, and he knew about it. And there was one where like 12 seconds left, they're down by I think 10 points. They miss a free throw. He gets a rebound, goes coast to coast, dunks the ball. Spread was 8.5. They lost by 8. I'll have to pull it up. Let me go on Twitter real quick and see who it was. But
Okay.
back to Terrion Arnold.
Yeah. And just back to Terrion Arnold. I just think that where he messed up is he didn't. Again, I just think that when you are of a certain stature, like a professional athlete, you have to carry yourself way more carefully than a lot of these young guys do. And Terrion Arnold, he's 23 years old, so he's still young himself, brain still developing, all that. I get it, but like for you to work your entire life to become the top 1% at your profession, and basically the moment you get in the NFL, I know he's not a rookie. I know he's a couple seasons into his career, but you decide to throw it all away because you want to be some sort of tough guy. Bro, you're rich, right? Now, here's the thing. His rookie contract, I think, was only worth like, I want to say like $4 million or something like that. What was his rookie contract? It was at the end of this article here. Let me read that really quick for you guys just so I don't mess that up. So Arnold, he had 2 years and $4.8 million remaining on his rookie contract. So now that he's released by the Lions, I don't know what that would mean in terms of like, are they going to, do they still pay that out, or is it like voided contract because he violated something or whatever?
So
I'm not really sure how that works. Yeah, go ahead.
it was a 4-year, 14.34 fully guaranteed, 7.25 million sign-in bonus over the life of the deal. I think they can dispute that, much like the Ravens did with Earl Thomas when we released him.
Oh yeah,
It was detrimental conduct.
Yeah, man, it's just stupid. It's dumb, man. I can't justify it at all. And somebody said like in the chat, like, oh, call the cops. Why would we do that, bro? When you have that much to lose, you don't take matters like that into your own hands like it's the wild, wild west. You just don't. You got to be smarter than that. You have to be smarter than that. And, you know, it's the same thing for when like these guys, you know, they get in the cars and they want to race and drive super fast and dangerous and stuff like that. It's like, bro, like, do you not get satisfaction from like just like going home after work and just like popping in a video game or just hanging with your girl, or I don't know, maybe starting a family? You know, I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But no, you got to act like you're on season 4 of Power or some shit. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make any sense. I don't get it.
And you bring up like how much to lose. I think about, you didn't go to all those Pee Wee practices. You didn't go to all those high school workouts early in the morning in college. You didn't go all of that to throw it away.
I'm saying.
How much time and energy did you devote to get to where you're at now? And just like that, in the blink of an eye, hours, days, weeks, months, years of work gone.
And then somebody said here in the chat, and Black Daniel says, these dudes don't hire some goons to get that work in. No face, no case. That's basically what he did, though. That's basically what he did. I mean, he got these associates, these like 6 other co-defendants. He texted them in a group chat, basically said, hey, look, I know such and such got my stuff. Y'all go take care of that. I'm not coming because I can't be part of that. But like, you know what I'm saying? But he still orchestrated the events. But it's just like, either way, you don't have to go that route. You just don't have to go that route. I get it. Somebody stole from you. You feel violated. You want payback, things like that. But if the risks are, I'm gonna get payback on these people, but I could end up getting released from my contract, my team in the NFL, and never play another down. And then after this contract money that I have now left, that's it. Again, thoughts and prayers to everyone involved, man. I'm glad nobody died. I'm glad nobody died in this situation, but it's just, I think that they're going to make an example out of Terrion Arnold here. The league is.
Sad.
Yeah.
And it was Malik Beasley. So I pulled up the tweet from Shams. 9-year NBA veteran Malik Beasley has been indicted on federal charges for gambling related to a sports betting scheme such as point shaving and prop bets, his attorney Steve Haney tells ESPN. The government is coordinating a voluntary surrender of Beasley this week.
Wait, did that, you said that just came out today, right?
10 hours ago.
Can you send me that?
Of course. I'll send you the tweet right now. Send it in the in our chat.
Nice. Yes. Yeah. All right. Got it. Here we go.
Oh, it just sent his let me see if I can open the actual tweet. I got you. There we go. I'll send it. There we go.
Yeah, because I definitely wanted to take a look at that. Let's see.
And in the replies, it'll show some clips of some questionable things that he was doing on the court.
So 9-year NBA vet, like you said, Malik Beasley has been indicted on federal charges for gambling related to a sports betting scheme such as point shaving and prop bets. Man, I mean, you you can't even use the argument of like this was just a kid who probably didn't know any better. Like, not Malik Beasley is grown, bro. He is a vet, right? And he's been around. I think he played overseas for a little while too. And he's done like all these podcasts, and I think he's played in the one-on-one league or the Big Three or something like that. So he's kind of been around. But the fact that this news is coming out here, I really think that they're only scratching the surface, Alex, to be honest with you.
Agreed.
I feel like there's a lot more people who are going to end up getting exposed for this very same thing, because it's just like, you think about it, it's one of those things where you could get away with it and basically protest like plausible deniability, or there's not enough evidence here, or and you can make things look a way that it doesn't look like you're actually cheating. But when they pull up some of the actual, I think they have the like in here, what's happening here?
Right there.
What happened?
He dropped the ball. So go.
He just dropped it.
Yeah.
Let me see.
So
Let me go back.
like 5. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Oh, just fumbled it right through his hand. And see, like stuff like that, you can't even really like point to it and be like, "Oh, he's cheating." But like you can. Oh, there's more. There's more. Oh gosh. Oh, I don't see it.
Oh, I'll send the videos. I got you.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. This is
here's another one.
That's him defending.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. That's bad. He just let dude walk right by him. That's crazy. You can make a meme of that, just like how egregious that was. Like, look at this, bro. Look at this.
Controller just died.
Controller just died, bro. Like, what are we talking about? He did not slide his feet at all. Yeah, man. He's going down. I know there was, who else? It was Chauncey Billups and a couple other people who were in some trouble. Oh, Terry Rozier, that's right. That were in trouble for it too.
Clip in our chat as well.
Okay.
Another one of his.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. We do have another super chat donation.
Oh, who's that?
Appreciate you, Asmodeus. Says the money doesn't really matter. Reminds me of Aaron Hernandez. Sometimes you just have that demon in you and you can't tame the beast down. Still stupid. I don't know if Terrion Arnold has the demon in him though. Wasn't Terrion Arnold just doing a podcast with PS2?
I think doing with the St. Brown brothers as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You don't really give me like I'm crazy. Like I'm this crazy individual who will get you hit up if you steal my stuff. Like he doesn't really give me. I mean, I don't know the guy personally, so maybe he is dealing with something like that mentally. But nah, man. I mean, it's just stupid to throw your life away like that before your life even really gets going. But like we mentioned before, the prosecutors are saying that like they don't have a whole lot. They're not making a whole bunch of progress as of right now in prosecuting him and things like that. So maybe he does get off. We'll just have to wait and see. It's going to be one of those things. But he is no longer a lion. But I'll tell you one thing, Alex. If he gets off, right, and he's a free agent, I think he's going to be highly sought after. I think he's going to be highly sought after. But it just depends on whether or not they convict him or not. But thank you so much, Asmodeus, for the super chat donation. We appreciate that, brother, each and every time. Let me see. Q the guy says, yet corporations get richer every single day.
The same way your favorite sports team probably has a sports book somewhere on their arena, somewhere on their jersey, somewhere just around, and you'll see it. Yeah. It's nasty. I don't like it at all. I'm happy. Even in soccer, I think they banned gambling sponsors on jerseys, and I think it's a big step forward. I know it may be small, but I think it's a big step forward.
Yeah.
Because soon it could possibly be, affiliating yourself with any sports book.
Right, because it just gets nasty to me when, all of it's in your face. Like, you know what I mean? The gambling stuff is just all constantly in your face all the time. And you expect these, a lot of times, like children, like 19, 20. And yeah, you can say they're grown, man. They're grown. They are grown in the eyes of the law. But in the eyes of like, just like mental development, not there
Correct.
yet. Not there yet. So it's just like I think it's nasty that these kids are even put like they're peer pressured like that. You used to get peer pressured by like your friends at school. Now you're peer pressured constantly just by commercials, just being at home, enjoying time with your family. You're being peer pressured on Thanksgiving. Oh, bet five, get $200 in
Yep.
big bold letters, right? It's just, again, morally speaking, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Can
That's why we
you
always say,
bring
please
up?
gamble responsibly. Oh yeah,
Yes.
what you
Can
got?
you bring up that video I just sent in the chat? Just this is the one that I think is the funniest out of all of them.
Yeah,
Take a look at the score. Take a look. Yeah, 118 to 110, down by 8, 5 seconds left. Game's over. You're not scoring 8 points in 5 seconds. You know, 0.0000001% chance. Look
he
at him
pushing them
fly down the
off
court.
the court. It is crazy.
1 point.
That was the most egregious. He was really pushing. Oh my god, let me look at that again. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious, bro. He really started moving with a purpose.
Face of a man. 4, 3. He's down the court in 4 seconds.
I gotta get this dunk. I gotta get this dunk. The fact that like he like, because here's the thing. He could have let the ball. I mean, I think that's Rubio right there. I think that's Ricky Rubio.
Yep.
He could have let the ball get inbounded to Rubio, who's the point guard here. Instead, he's like, no, give me that. And I'm running up the floor. Man, yeah, it's over with for him.
Guilty.
It's over with for him. Guilty as charged, man. That's crazy. That is crazy. Bro said I gotta hit that line. That's wild. Yeah, he was hauling ass, coach. He's hauling ass.
He went
That's funny. That's funny. All right. So what else we got? What else do we got? We got to get into some sad news, Alex. We got to get into some sad news, unfortunately. So earlier today, I was scrolling on the internet and I saw the name Chris Johnson pop up on my timeline. I'm like, oh, why is Chris Johnson in the news? CJ2K in the news? What's going on with him? It says here, Adam Schefter reporting, former NFL running back Chris Johnson revealed to Good Morning America that at age 39, he has been diagnosed with ALS. And they had dropped an interview. It was with him and Michael Strahan. And when I tell you, because I'm not going to play it here on the stream.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. If you've seen it, then you probably feel the same way. Like I felt devastated for Chris Johnson, you know, having this disease here that is now apparently he can no longer talk. He can no longer say words. He just cannot. Right. And for those of you guys who don't know what ALS is, basically it's a problem with like your neurons that control different voluntary muscles like your diaphragm that help you breathe, eat, talk, things like that. Chris Johnson has this now, and like I mentioned before, he can no longer talk. He was speaking to Michael Strahan through a computer that has his voice uploaded to it that he can type responses and things, and it'll actually come out with his voice. He said that he has little to no control over his own limbs, right? It's just, it's a devastating thing here. And at 39 years old, this is what honestly really kind of took me aback, you know, like, because the dude is so young. Alex, what did you make of this, man?
I hate the way I'm feeling right now because of it.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, for Ravens fans, we see, you know, one of our own OJ Brigands who has it, and
Yeah.
I think it's kind of, what's the right word to say? Shocking to some people, because if you've never seen it before, you really don't know what it is. You may hear of it, but to see somebody actually with it, to see how, I think heartbreaking is just too light of a word to use to describe it.
Yeah, definitely. And
It's
I
this is so real quick. This is the guy who we saw run for 2,000 yards. Like, this is the guy who get away from the cop speed. That's the one thing when I think of CJ2K, I hear Gus Johnson saying that in my head.
Oh yeah,
This
that
was the
highlight,
fastest guy in the NFL. This was Mr. 99 speed. This is the guy you draft in Madden. this is one of the best running backs we've seen.
Yeah,
And the
man.
fact there's no cause to me is just the unknown. How? Why him? He never did anything wrong that I know of. Good guy. I don't get it. I don't.
Yeah, sometimes in life you are just dealt a hand. And I am a believer in, we talk about call God a lot on every single episode. I think it's been almost 420 episodes. We say that every single episode because it's so important. And I am a believer in God giving some of his strongest tests to some of his strongest soldiers, biggest tests to some of his strongest soldiers. You guys know the whole that saying. And it seems like he is in good spirits and better spirits than I would expect for him to be. And he said that the doctors told him all sorts of things like, hey, look, you know, basically start getting your affairs in order because we don't foresee you being around for too much longer. And I just think that for him and his family have to deal with something like that. I couldn't imagine, Alex. I could not imagine having to get news like that. And the good news is though, Alex, is that he has the means, he has the resources, and this is a high profile enough thing to where he's getting some of the best treatment you could possibly get. Right. He's doing experimental trials and things like that, and things that, are new to maybe help slow down the disease or help cure things like that. So all you can do, again, you call God and you pray for the situation to get better for him, his family. But man, I know that's got to be tough. That's got to be tough on the mental, man.
I think the most fearing is just the unknown. There's genuinely no cause. There's factors that can lead to it.
Yeah.
But there's, that's with most things though. But heredity is obviously one of them. But it sucks.
Yeah. Jeremiah says anybody can face tragedy, unexpected, anytime.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this.
Partially
I actually have a story for you guys.
Okay.
Speaking of tragedy, Saturday I'm driving because I collect trading cards and I sell them at shows, local shows.
Mhm.
And I'm driving to College Park, Maryland, and I'm on 695. And there's the exit right where you go to Baltimore or the airport. So 11A, 11B. I think most of us probably know where that's at. And it's raining out 6:45 in the morning. It's bit of a drive for me, but I had to get down there early, set up. This is all normal things. And tractor trailer without the trailer attached misses his turn, and he goes to swerve and to go to take the exit towards Baltimore, Washington. And he goes into the little middle area where if you drive on, it's a little bumpy.
Yeah.
He loses control of the truck.
Oof.
This truck is doing donuts in the middle of 695.
Yikes.
Think about that. Thankfully, I'm able to get over into the shoulder, which then it is now bigger, which thank God. But just it's stuff like that, the smallest things. And it's that's why I don't get on your phone either. If I was on my phone, not paying attention, who knows? It can face you anytime.
And it's really, you're right, Alex. And it's really why you do have to cherish life and wake up, thank God in advance for each and every day, because you just don't know. You just don't know when anything could happen, either to you, a loved one, somebody close to you. You just don't know. It's unpredictable. So again, that's why it's important to be present with those that you love. If you have somebody in your life that's very close to you, family, friends, whoever, I would ask, hey, go tell that person you love them. Go tell that person you love them. Go hang out with them. Spend some time and be present and be conscious about it. Make a conscious effort to do that. In times like this, it does make me feel better knowing that there's people around who I can go to and, kind of put my arms around them, tell them I love them. So, it's very, very sad. Very, very sad. I see Afia spitting some facts in the chat. Shout out to Afia. Definitely need more. And I love the fact that Chris Johnson, the reason why he made this so public is because he wants, people to donate to the research causes and stuff like that. Because when you have stuff like this, where it's just, we just don't know how to deal, it's 2026, bro. It's 2026. We got to start throwing some money at some of these different diseases and stuff like that we could maybe, with the right resources, come up with treatment or maybe even a cure for. you know. But just to say that, like, when somebody has this, it's like, oh, it's just a matter of time. It's like,
Right.
it gives you like dark ages, kind of like, oh, like I caught a cold, I guess I'm gonna die in 2 weeks. Like, it's like one of those type of things, you know.
Yeah. Broke my arm,
I
amputate it.
yep,
Like that's
gotta
kind of,
cut
you
it
know
off.
what I mean?
It's oh my goodness, man. That's how it feels. That's how it feels. But definitely donate to research causes. Yeah, we definitely got to find. Maybe I'll put a link in the description if I can find a good one.
I
But
think
yeah,
this may spark, we see 24-hour, streams and all proceeds benefit cancer. I mean, that could definitely be ALS now. I mean, this could have sparked that. Somebody may start stuff like that and just kind of bring more attention to it. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy he went public with that. It sucks that happened, but it's funny. It's like the fact he's been dealt this tragedy and the fact he's still trying to think about how he can help others. That
Yeah.
says a lot.
beautiful,
That says a lot.
beautiful, beautiful. All right. Let's go ahead and move on here to a much less sad topic. Again, guys, be sure to like this video if you are enjoying the content. If you are new here, also please consider subscribing to the channel as well. We do give you daily Baltimore Ravens content right here at the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. And the season is right around the corner, right? So if you do not want to miss any of the great content, because we got a lot of great content lined up coming out this season. You guys know how hard we're going with the Quiet Storm Sports nowadays. That's going to be going into the season as well. Of course, you get the main pods here. You get the YouTube shorts. You get the happy hour streams on Fridays, which we always have a great time with. You're not going to want to miss it this upcoming season. Please make sure not only like this video, hype this video, but also subscribe if you're new and you haven't already. Okay. All right. So, Alex, to kind of wrap us up here on this episode of the show, I didn't realize we've been going for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
World Cup. We came full circle with it, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, your Germany just got knocked out. We just witnessed that live here. That is sad. Again, I'm sorry about that, bro. But we still do have America. America's still in it. I want to ask you, I want to get your take on them losing to Turkey in a game where I understand it didn't really matter, but kind of gave it away at the end there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on America right now?
It would have been nice to win all 3 group stage games for the first time ever. But, and I hate, comparing sports, but somebody put it best. You just lost a Week 18 game with your backups in to a team playing everybody on a last-second field goal. You want to win the game, but you made it out with no I words.
Mm-hmm.
You made it out with nobody getting suspended for the next game. And one of your best players in Christian Pulisic gave you a very promising 35 minutes. I think you had 4 out of 5 marks checked. You missed the 1, but is it really the worst thing? And it's not. It was a frustrating game. It was a lapse of just concentration, which cannot be happening in big games.
Bro.
It was you leave a man unmarked in the 98th minute, which to me is this lack of concentration. That can't be happening.
2 USA players got megged on that last play. I mean,
lack of concentration.
That was insane. I was like, how did we give that up? Like on the inbound, goes right between the dude's legs, and then I think they cross it over, and then it goes between another dude's leg and into the net. And I'm like, bro, there's no way we just gave that game up like that. But again, understand it didn't matter. We are in the knockout stage or the knockout rounds. Round of 32 started yesterday, I believe.
It did.
Went into today, and the Team USA, they play on Wednesday against Bosnia, right?
Indeed. Bosnia.
Should be
So
interesting.
that should be.
Are they any good?
We're like minus 500 favorites. We just saw a minus 900 favorite go out today, which I really can't stress enough. Like anything can happen in the World Cup, much like the NCAA tournament. Anything can happen, which I think is the joy of it. Like with all due respect, no way should Panama be beating Germany. Germany on this have 4 stars for a reason. They've won the World Cup 4 times. No way they should be losing to Panama, right?
Or Paraguay?
But they did. What was that? Oh, Paraguay. I'm sorry, Paraguay.
Yeah.
I had Panama. I'm getting knocked out. No reason they should be losing to Paraguay at all. USA just met them 2 weeks ago, slapped them around 4-1, played them off the park. The same Germans won the World Cup 4 times. No way that should be happening. But this is why, to me, like, why not the U.S.? Why not us? Why not?
It's a possibility, right?
And I know we'd have to play Spain and we have to play big teams, but you take it one game at a time. Bosnia, there's a reason why they're there. Should we be beating them? 1,000,000%. That's why you play the game.
Real quick, I gotta ask you, because before the World Cup started, I asked you, like, in NFL terms, what chances would you give Team USA to win?
Yeah.
Now that we're a couple weeks into it, do you think that? Because I believe you said something like the Cleveland Browns or something like that. The Browns winning the Super Bowl is what you would liken it to. What do you think now?
Yeah. I'm gonna change that because we've never won it. We've never won it. It's you got to think of a team, and it's hard to pick just 32 teams, but you got to think of a team that is promising, has only won, let's say, one playoff game, very little playoff success to kind of equate to knockout rounds. I mean, maybe the Jags.
I was
The
just gonna
Jags
say the
have
Jags. Yeah,
they have a future, but when they in the playoffs, they don't really do the best.
Yeah.
You could say the Chargers.
Mm.
I mean, we always talk about them. Never happens.
But maybe
It's
there's a
that, I mean-
Cinderella run in Team USA this year. I don't know, Alex. We're looking good so far, man. We look good.
Yeah, I think we do win 3-1 on Wednesday. It's going to be a close game, but I'm happy because I said I wanted to see how the USA react when they go down a goal.
Mhm.
We went down 2-1, and we fought our way back to 2-2 with lesser talented players from the pitch, with Sebastian Berhalter scoring a goal, who plays in the MLS, which I notably hate. And losing the last kick of the game, it's not the worst result possible. We're gonna have all our guys back. We're gonna have Pulisic. Gonna have Balogun. Tell you what, Balogun said something. He's like, "I didn't come to the USA to play and win group games. You haven't seen the best of me. I'm saving it for now. These are the games." And
Talk
to hear
heavy,
it from a
Balogun.
guy in a top 5, and this guy has scored, I think, 3 or 4 goals against PSG this year, the European champions, the French champions, big game player. So if I'm a betting man, bet responsibly. You take over 1.5 goals. Take Fuller and Balogun over 1 shot. You take USA to win. That should get
Okay.
you to around the plus 100. Should be able to boost that, but that's kind of my play for the week. And if you want to feel a little spicy, you add USA over 3.5 corners for a 4
Yeah.
leg. But
Okay.
I think we get it done, and it'll be our second ever knockout win if it happens, and I'm looking forward to it. You should be as well. It's gonna be a big game.
I'm looking forward to it, brother. It was Wednesday. At what time do we play again?
7 o'clock your time.
Okay, so perfect. It's like prime time. Prime time. Yeah.
It's our first ever primetime knockout game. Because with it being, in Europe, and it was in Africa, and it was in Qatar,
Mhm.
time difference. So it'd be early, 3 o'clock, 10 a.m., 3 p.m. It wouldn't be prime time, but it'd be prime time for all of us to watch.
Got it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be tuning into that, and I'm sure most of America will too. I want to ask you this though, Alex. And by the way, you guys heard Alex's parlay there. If you didn't catch it, rewind it, listen to it, put that in for Wednesday. But I want to ask you, most impressive player in this World Cup so far.
Oh, that's a good question. Because there's been a lot. I could easily say, the big guys. But I feel like Messi low-key has to be on there. This guy has 6 goals, and he's 30, 37, 38 years old. I mean,
39.
39. He shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
He really shouldn't be doing this. But if I can pick somebody else, let me go. There's this 18-year-old Yan Diomande on Ivory Coast. He's about to go to PSG, 100 million. This guy's electric. He wants you to try to defend him. Ivory Coast play, I think, tomorrow, I want to say. Yep, tomorrow against Norway. Watch
Oh, that should be fun.
Number 11, headband, joke of a player. Genuinely, he's unbelievable. I'm going through the teams here and trying to find maybe somebody else that's been really impressive. Probably him.
Interesting.
And if you watch
Okay.
Morocco tonight, it's a young midfielder, Bouadi, number 6. He's been controlling the net for them.
Who's Morocco playing?
They're playing Netherlands, who have Brian Brobby, their striker. He's
Mhm.
put up a couple of goals the past couple of games.
The
but-
lines for this Netherlands Morocco game, it's like plus 135 for Netherlands, plus 230 for Morocco. So
I like
Pretty
the Dutch
close,
to win
yeah.
tonight. But I would take both teams to score if I'm betting.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's been a good World Cup so far, and you already have your first kind of real big shocker.
Yeah, and then you also have France, Sweden tomorrow too. I mean, anytime you get to watch Kylian Mbappe and who's the other guy on their team?
Elise, Dembele. We can go through.
Dembele
We
is
can go through.
that boy is nice. I don't know what he's got in his left foot, but that dude is he's the truth.
He won the Ballon d'Or last year, best player in the world.
Oh, that makes sense then. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, I knew there's something I was missing about this guy. I was like, wait a minute, no. That goal looked too easy for that dude. Like, and he had like 2 back-to-back in that last game. I can't remember who they played last week, but no, Dembele, that guy he's nice. And of course, Kylian Mbappe is Kylian Mbappe.
If I'm you, if I'm betting France, Sweden, I'm taking like over 3.5 goals. Sweden's defense is awful. They're literally led by their 2 strikers, Alexander Isak and Victor Gyökeres. It's those 2 guys and everybody else. That's the only way they can stand a chance. I don't think they will. I think it might be like 4-1, 3-1. It'll be a goal fest tomorrow, for sure.
Then you also get Mexico and Ecuador, which seems to be a tightly contested matchup here.
I'm hate watching Mexico. I'm hate watching them. They should be winning because they're on home soil. The same way that if the USA were to lose against Bosnia, that's a failure. If Mexico were to Ecuador is a good team, don't get me wrong, but to lose in Mexico against Ecuador, who had a very tough group stage, that wouldn't be good. Looking good for them.
I see. Okay. Well, shoot.
Still think France are the favorites. I still think France are going to win it all. They have shown me no reason why they won't win it all. I mean, for how they waited 2.5 hours during a rain delay, came out and looked somehow even better, it felt like, and just started putting up goals.
You're right about that. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I just know whenever if America does have to run into France, that'll be a tough watch. It'll be a tough watch for sure.
If they were to, it would be the semifinals. If.
Yeah. Ooh.
Not to be Justin Herbert. If.
So they're on the same side of the bracket, huh?
Correct. So if we were to win, we would play Belgium or Senegal. Belgium beat us in 2014. If we were to win that, we would play Portugal, Spain, Austria, or Croatia. I think Spain's going to go through all of them. I think Portugal are going to get knocked out. They do not look nearly as impressive as I thought they would.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to kind of go through Belgium, Spain, and then France if you were to make it. And that's about as big as a test as you could face. You'd be playing the favorites in the semifinal for me. I think, like I said, I think they blow most countries off the park, and you'll see it for sure.
Man, I'm hoping that this USA team shocks the world, literally shocks the world, and goes on a run here, man. That'd be the coolest thing, wouldn't that? That would just be the coolest thing. And I feel like, we need it. You know what I'm saying? We need that right now. I just think just to even just bring people together. You know what I'm saying? Because like that is one thing. If the USA were to make it to, even the semifinal or, the final, I'll tell you one thing, Alex, I'm not watching that game in the comfort of my own home. I'm not. I have to go somewhere where I can feel that energy. I have to, because I just know what it's going to look like, what it's going to feel like. Like I mentioned, like I like you guys know I'm out here in Texas. I went to a bar to watch NBA conference final game. I think it was Spurs versus Thunder game 7. And like the energy in there was just like infectious. Of course, everybody's going for San Antonio. But I can only imagine like when the World Cup, like everybody, literally everyone, if you're American, you're going to be pulling for America to win, man. So it's been exciting so far. I can't wait to see how it goes on here down the stretch in this knockout round. It is now do or die. And as we saw today, it ain't no more ties and nothing like that. No, if it gets down to it, PKs. We're doing penalty kicks for the win. And that does get scary. It gets very, very spooky. So hopefully it doesn't come down to that for America, but it should be a good rest of the World Cup, don't you think?
It definitely shouldn't. Like you said, I'm going to piggyback. You got to watch one of these games out of the bar. Like I said, when I would watch Arsenal games at our supporters bar, I mean, we were hand and shoulder, like with a bunch of people you don't know. You just met this guy 2.5 hours ago. You're going to jump and hug the person next to you if your team scores. I highly recommend watching it, not at your home, somewhere else. And you'll enjoy yourself and you won't regret it. Even if win, lose, or draw, you won't regret it.
Yeah.
Because you'll see a bunch. If it's not the result you want, you'll see everybody else like, wow, they're feeling the same emotions as me. And you kind of can.
Such a cool feeling, man. Such a cool feeling. I mean, you feel the same way when you go to like a Ravens game, you know what I mean? And there's just like people around you, like all the fans around you. Something good happens, a touchdown, you're high-fiving dudes, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Tila says, I like the video today. Thank you so much, Tila. You gotta be a good influence as a mod,
Thank you.
right? For everybody
Thank
else
you.
in the chat here. Thank you for liking the video, subscribing to the channel as well. And guess what, Afia, you can like the video now too, because I went a whole episode without bringing up number 4. A whole episode.
No, we did. Yeah. Wow.
Aren't you proud of me? Okay. All right. Go ahead and like the video for that. Okay. She says she just liked it herself. There we go. There we go. Clap it up. Clap it up for the likes in the chat. Clap it up for the likes in the chat, man. Appreciate you guys. All right. I think that's going to just about do it for us here on this episode 419 of the Purple Rain podcast. Appreciate you guys so much for coming through. We will be live tomorrow for Quiet Storm Sports and on Wednesday for Quiet Storm. And then Thursday, we have the main pod again. Friday, happy hour stream. Sudden reactions on the side as well. Make sure you subscribe. And yeah, with that being said, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And I'll let my guy Alex take us out.
Thank you for coming through the episode 419 of the Purple Rain podcast. Hopefully next time I see you guys, USA is in the round of 16. But until then, love you, appreciate you, and as always, stay positive and test negative.
Yes, yes, yes. And never, ever, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God and may purple rain.